All right, let's talk about State Farm's new policy. Now, their old policy, the FP 7955 form, was a very good policy. And a few years ago, they started adding this percentage deductible to that policy, and the percentage deductible goes up every year, and it ends up being larger. So we were starting to tell people, yeah, you really don't want to have that, and you don't want to be with a company that's going to do that. So State Farm, over the last 2 years, have virtually changed everybody. They dropped everybody from the old FP 7955, their good policy. Now, it's not an HO3 policy. I talk a lot about the HO1, HO2, HO3, and State Farm, it's kind of an HO3, but it's a modified form policy. They don't use a standardized form. So as a result, there's different language in it. So just like what do they cover, and you get similar construction instead of same like kind quality. It's little nuances like that in the policy that really at the end of the day make a big difference, especially if that claim goes to court and now you got lawyers interpreting the little ands, ors, commas, stuff like that. So let's talk about the State Farm policy in a little better detail. The new one, they dropped everybody out of the old one and put everybody into this new SW 2135 or HW 2138. But it came, when they did the renewal, they said, hey, listen, we dropped you from this and we gave you this one. And here is 8 pages of coverage reductions and eliminations. So let's talk about the highlights. First of all, access to plumbing. They're not going to pay if you have water coming out of a toilet on one end of your basement, but the clog's in the other end of your basement. The old policy would cover to dig up where the clog is and to replace the floor and stuff where the clog is. But the new policy says if the clog's not at the release point, we're not paying for access to plumbing. So that there is huge. That's gonna cost a lot of people a lot of money. Another thing is the appraisal language in the policy. Appraisal is another way for us to get that homeowner paid. We can demand appraisal for things that the insurance company agree are covered, but don't agree on, exactly the details of it. So appraisal can be demanded. Well, the new policy has 21 paragraphs of hoops to jump through. Normal insurance policies that have the appraisal clause in it, it's like a paragraph or two. Pretty simple. If we disagree, we can all demand an appraisal. State Farm's is, well, if a public adjuster didn't handle the claim from the beginning, you're likely not going to get paid through appraisal. You're not going to be able to invoke that section of the policy. There's code and ordinance language in there that says if your roof was replaced or something was done to your home and at the time it was redone, it wasn't built to code, they don't owe you to bring it up to code. So there's a lot of these nuanced languages in this policy, and I just, none of my friends and family are allowed to have State Farm. I forbid it because at the end of the day, it's going to be harder to get paid because of the language in that policy that even the agents have no idea about. So if you want to know if you have unfair language in your policy, click the link in my bio, answer a couple questions. Most people are underinsured and don't know it. I'll give you advice to fix your policy.